I did not ask what Tiru was going to do.
Oh, I need to know if I'm on a I mean, I'm just being held up or I'm tied.
They don't have time for that. They're not organized enough for anything. They've just all grabbed you.
Okay,
You are
so
multiply grabbed and being sort of somewhat carried along in a careless fashion.
I'm waiting for us to be in sight of the temple,
No
which
problem.
is
Mhm.
yeah, which is still quite a bit away from the water, right?
It's not that far from the water. There's a little plaza there.
Okay, so when we are kind of there, I'm going to close my eyes and channel the water magic, and I
Right.
want to have a tendril of water to emerge from the lake in the vague shape of of a snake, and then I will tell people, "Look, it's
Wait,
Poe."
wait, 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 wait. You're narrating away. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
So that's one thing. Um, so
Okay.
that's fine, but I would like to talk a little bit about the circumstances of when you
Okay.
arrive
Yeah.
at that plaza because there are plenty of them.
Okay. Okay.
So this is not negotiating what you said. This is just telling you more.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing is that people or frogs are coming out of the temple as this group comes up to the plaza. A whole bunch are coming out. One of them is the priest that you saw before, who carrying the victims, off to the temple. Who is not wearing his priestly outfit at all and seems to have an armload of valuables. And he stops and looks at this crowd who has just come up to the plaza. So that's one. Just behind them, because they were moving a lot faster than him, are a whole bunch of very panicked frogs who are all shouting, Spo is risen, Spo is feeding, Spo is, it's terrible, and everybody is having fits. So the the circumstances now, the crowd who has come to the plaza is encountering a situation that they had not anticipated. So that is the circumstance in which you
Okay.
are raising
In
up
this
your.
case,
Mhm.
I think it makes more sense for me to when all this happens, I wait to see. I guess I'm equally shocked as the others, but when I see a chance, I do something like bouncing in the air and then pushing really hard on my frog legs to try and leap and free myself of the people. So
Okay.
when they are distracted, I try to
Nothing
break
I
free.
said was intended to change the circumstances of your action.
No,
Okay.
no, but
So,
I think right now it makes
okay.
more sense for me because it's not the kind of situation where I can get people's attention on that. I mean, everybody's already
There you
panicking.
go. You just
Like,
said what you couldn't do. Right
oh
there.
no, I mean, in this context, I think I would like because I was torn between the two things, and now there is chaos around me. I will take the chance to use the chaos to try to break through.
I see.
Honestly,
Okay.
yeah.
It's what you want to do. So it's really not, as you have surmised, perhaps it's not very difficult at all. So,
Mhm.
three dice are coming your way, and your wild and crazy stuff is
Yes,
certainly,
I think that makes
yeah.
sense. So I would say so. It's five dice, and I fail.
Lorenzo, you are an amazing font of failure. Okay, so here's the outcome of it, which is quite straightforward in many ways. But please give me a moment to carry it through to real consequences. The immediate situation is simply that you are struggling mightily to get free, but for whatever reason, the crowd that's got you can't think of anything to do with their hands except hold on. And
Yeah.
so, for whatever reason. And so you find yourself completely, tied up. But the reason for this is that they now decide that the obvious thing to do
Oh,
is to go and hurl you into the temple. Um,
so must feed.
well, basically, Spo must
Yeah.
feed on him
Yeah.
first is the idea, and the I'm trying to think of that. That doesn't really have much to do with Barabo. It might actually be Barabo, now that I think about it, who has the wits to say him first, and they'll say, "Oh yeah," and they go and they pitch you into the door as Barbo, gets out as quickly as possible. That
Makes
does,
sense.
yeah,
Makes
I know. It
sense.
just sort of came to me that would fly. So, therefore, you have found yourself now tumbling and battered and confused into a practically a thick stench of snake that is now billowing its way forward. Um, the the next thing, therefore, um, is that you would probably not too far away from encountering Washi on his way out. So Washi is on his way out the quickest and most direct way he can, and that is the path into which you have been cast. And the two of you are basically on a collision course right now. So
Is
I'm
this
just
the
trying.
first time you guys would have met?
I
um,
saw him
mhm,
when I was being carried away,
Oh,
and
right.
Yeah.
we didn't really interact.
correct. You have
Um,
seen one another. That is all.
yeah, I just tried to ignore him and just leap past through him and get out of the town.
Okay. Now I don't know what you have to say about that, if anything, Tiru. This is just merely a
No,
fact of
no, no. I
okay.
don't.
Okay,
I
so
don't try to stop him.
there goes Washi. And
I give him a short look before going, and I tell him, "You don't want to go in there,"
do
and
not
then I
want to go
leave.
in there. Okay. So that is what he has said.
Yeah, I think I very much agree because this isn't how I was imagining getting here. So I'm look one last time inside the temple, and then I turn tail and run
Okay.
after the other toad.
hmm Okay, so the two of you are leaving the temple, and you probably, I'm trying to think about whether there's going to be any difficulty with people. Um, if your plan is actually to exit Wambaroom. So
Yes,
what I want to know from Claudio is which way do you want to go? Do you want
I
to
want
go
to back to the spiders and give
right?
them their gem back.
Got it. Okay. So you are headed in that direction. The two of you, unless you really want to go and deal with the people of Wambaroom in their various places, then I don't see any. They're not hunting for you, basically, right at this point. Um, and so the question is for Tiru, how do you wish to go? Back the way you know about, back down the road, the way you came up?
When I go out, do I still see the add-on shop loaded with all the treasure? Is he still inside or he disappeared
Oh, he
somewhere?
he ran off, but he's not that far off. If you want to go find him, that
I'm
is
going to take him.
okay.
I'm going to take him.
All right. So, and you're probably not too far off in thinking that he's also making for a direct route out of here. So
Yeah.
it's not really a mystery. So therefore, off you go. Now, as for okay, so that puts us in two situations. One is um, well, let's put you both in your logical situations. Washi, making your way up the mountain through the trails up there, and they did say that one of them would be around, and you really haven't been there that long, so there hasn't been enough
Yeah.
time for Zuth to get bored and say he'll come back later. So he'll probably you know probably descend upside down from a tree on his little toe line, and reverse himself and put his feet on the ground and say that was quick. I didn't expect you back so soon.
You don't want to go to that city. I can't help you. It's too big, too long, and I give him the pearl back,
Uh huh.
and I just like I tell him just don't go there.
Okay, hold on just a moment. And meanwhile, I suppose we are dealing with Tiru, who is catching up with Barabo, who at this point is probably dropping valuables, stopping to pick them up, and otherwise, getting some, collecting his wits about how he's going to get out of here safely. And so he's doing a little bit of lurking, just again, not too hard to find him because both of you sort of have the same idea of getting to the same spot
Mm-hmm.
without running into knots of people. So wherever he goes is probably along where you would be going. You're making your way down through trees and rough spots rather than the actual little roadways and stuff of the town. So it's uncomfortable and slow going, and you're probably not quite to the road when you catch up with him. He is unaware that he is being tailed, so therefore he's not going as he's picking his way a little more carefully, and therefore you're moving faster. So that's where we end up. So there you are. You are
What I want to do very, not very martially or particularly skillfully is just leap on him, and I picture myself getting into a scuffle of some kind, dragging him to the ground and stopping his run.
mhm,
I'm just angry
right.
and
Okay. So you have bounded upon him, and
mhm,
that is going to be a roll for which you will be given 3 dice. As I
mhm.
say, he's not concentrating. You're doing a very sort of unexpected thing. And it's just about the point where he thinks he's eluded pursuit, but he's thinking about the townspeople. So he's right about
Mhm.
that. So you're a
Yeah,
big old surprise, and that's 3 dice.
I don't think I would be very. I don't think I have anything that applies to this. I'm not. I have no martial training of any kind.
Well, you just
So
said it
unless,
wasn't a very martial thing. Use your wildness.
yeah. Oh, okay. And then I'm going to go with my wild beating style.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have 3 ones.
Ah, well,
So,
that's where they've all been.
of
Okay,
course,
right.
of course.
So,
And
what
I'm
would you
going
like
to
to do?
give you the monologue.
Right. So you get
I need some
right.
dice.
You
Please.
pull yourself up, and you have found yourself with your single die now. Well, good. Well, that just as you say, adding nothing, you spring upon him, pummel him, bear him down, completely scatter his valuables, I suppose, considering the wildness and everything. I'm thinking of a spot in my source region, and there's actually a really big boulder there, a very
Mm-hmm.
distinctive big boulder set into the side of the hillside with lots of trees and stuff. And so, therefore, it makes perfectly good sense that you have basically come up at the base of that boulder. Um, and so it's uh, forest floor, it's leafy, there's trees scattered all around, and it's on a slope with little kind of level spots everywhere. And you have completely put Barabo in your power. That has
Okay.
happened. Barabo is not able to, you have stopped him. He is not able to get away. He is not able to resist you.
Okay. So I'm At the moment, I'm just kind of berating him. I see myself picking up pieces of the treasure and throwing it at him and
Right.
throwing expletives.
Right.
And I'm just angry. I don't want anything from him
Right.
aside from stopping him and beating him up.
Okay.
So,
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Now, once he is thoroughly, um, once he is thoroughly defeated, what would you like to do with him?
I want. I think my curiosity is still a part of my character. So I hold him up and I want to know what happened, what he knows, what this thing is, what he's done. I'm kind of interrogating him, you know. I want to understand how much does he know about this situation. Maybe anything I can use.
Okay. The first thing to understand is that as far as he'll tell you, he says anybody would have done the same. You would have done the same. It was so obvious. It was so obvious. Burrow was kind of getting old and fuzzy, and the snake kept getting bigger and growing more heads. And everybody knows. I mean, I mean, the spiders are a danger, right? I mean, the spiders. I mean, you can never be too safe from the spiders. Any one of you could have been a spider spy. You could still be a spider spy, he says brazenly. And that and so it anybody would have done the same. We sort of took charge a little, and it was working fine until your friend, until that freak showed up, that crazy guy showed up, and I don't know what he did. He set off the snake or something.
He didn't
My role
see
in
this
this
happening.
story is just to activate the snake.
That's not quite what happened,
away.
but I know it's he can rearrange his thinking a little bit for that. Sorry, Lorenzo. What?
No. I was answering him something like, "You didn't see this happening," and I hold the collar of my armor and I ask, "How many people, how many frogs have you fed to that beast?"
Well, they were all bad. I mean, traitors, spies. I mean, it strengthens people.
While he speaks, I look around the treasure and I want to see if there is either something long and chain-like or something very heavy.
I did mention a candlestick.
Oh, okay. And then at some point while he's speaking, how far we are from the road? You said we are quite a bit away from here.
Right, you're quite close to it. You're close
Okay.
to the road itself. You're almost out of
I
the village.
guess I can drag him a bit while I interrogate him, and I
Okay.
pick up the candlestick and I
Right.
start,
Okay. Well,
pushing him while he talks.
when you pick it up, he says, "Oh, you can keep that one."
I hammer him.
Oh,
on the
okay.
head.
All right. So, what
And,
is your ultimate goal here? Where are you going?
Well,
with
I
this?
want to drag him on the road, and I'm planning on breaking one of his hind legs and leaving him there saying, "Spo must feed." And,
I see.
and then leaving town.
Excellent. Okay.
Not yet. I'm not sure, but
No,
that's the
that
scene.
works for me if you're done with that. So
Yeah.
okay.